everybody, it's your boy King K and welcome back to another music oh wait, that's not the type of video I'm making today. Hey, what's up everybody, it's your boy King K and welcome to a PC build video. Not only a PC build video, but most likely the most professional looking, horrible sounding video I will ever post on my channel or any channel for that matter. For real though, I've never done something this like over the top, you know, special setup and bold, like looking, whatever. I don't really have the right words for it. I'm working over 2 hours of sleep and I'm about to install like 12,000 Rand worth of parts into this computer. If I break anything, I'm blaming sleep deprivation. Now the sound might be a little bit off. Obviously I'm not using a professional mic whatsoever. I don't make this general style of content. Usually I just sit behind my desk like a moron and play video games or do music reactions. So don't expect any Linus Tech Tip style or quality content when it comes to close-up and camera work. I've literally just got my phone strapped to a booth, a MacGyver booth pretty much, and I've got a computer to build for you guys today. Major shout out to my neighbor Frank. You guys can follow him on his IG. Link to it of course will be down below, for letting me borrow his studio video overall. Why do people always text me when I'm recording and never any other time? So many of you guys might know that I've been waiting for these upgrades for quite some time now, a little bit over 2 or so months. They've literally just been sitting behind my desk and pretty much making a tower waiting for certain components to arrive, because if I don't have one component I can't do anything with any of the components. I've got a Gamdias CHIONE E2 120R, I believe. Yes, indeed, I am right. It is a single radiator CPU liquid cooler pre-installed, none of that tubing bullshit. The second part to have arrived was this MSI B550M Mortar,
no thoughts, empty,
AM4 AMD motherboard. Because yes, indeed, I'm switching over from Intel to AMD. And the final part, which I've been waiting for literally 2 months for at this point, which finally arrived today, is this Ryzen 7 5800X. Obviously there's a major chip shortage and such, so yeah, it kind of fucked me there. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is my current setup. Obviously I'm going to be removing a lot of the stuff and placing new parts in it. Now the reason why I have this thing set up is not just for show, it's so that you guys can audibly hear, considering it's a larger studio and a crappier microphone that isn't condensed whatsoever. You guys can generally hear from there what it actually sounds like as of right now, so that I can do a comparison of afterwards what it would sound like once I have the new parts in. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, alright, don't expect this type of content much because I'm broke. Okay, but if you guys want to check out more of my content, there's a large variety within it. Kind of, I just do a lot of music reactions. And be sure to subscribe down below. And if you guys enjoy this PC build video, why not smash a like button, man? Let's just turn this baby off real quick, and then I'm gonna pretty much take it entirely apart and install all of the new things for you guys as well. Not sponsored, by the way. To be completely honest with you guys, I really hope this video comes out in decent quality. I'm kind of entirely winging it right now in terms of sound, in terms of angle of the camera and everything. I literally cannot see what my camera is seeing because of the stand behind it blocking out the entire screen of my phone. But I guess if it doesn't come out in good quality, well, yeah, too bad, no video. Because after already cutting myself with a fan yesterday, I'm not taking this thing apart twice. Alright, so that is my cable management right there. Absolutely horrific. I'm going to be working on it though. Since I pretty much have to take apart the entire PC, I might as well try, I'm not really good at it, try to adjust and fix up a little bit of this cable management at the back. Now one thing you guys might notice right off the bat is the fact that I have 2 LED pin connectors. Now the reason for this is a custom case by Evetech, made by Syntech I believe. Maybe, I don't know, don't correct me if I'm wrong. And they have a custom LED switch for their custom fans that are placed in it. Now, the liquid cooler by Gamdias comes with a fan of its own, obviously, for the radiator. This, however, uses a more generic fan switch. So in order to use that fan and power up the liquid cooler itself, I need to use this connector. One thing that I really find funny, and that's going to be a real problem in the future, is the remote itself for the LED lightings on the inside work with the same frequency, but the buttons do different things. So I'm pretty much going to find a mode to put it on and then never, ever, ever touch it again. Now the reason obviously why I'm opening the backside is because I first want to disconnect all of the hard drive. The reason for me doing this is because I only want to boot up the computer using my main SSD, which has my Windows loaded onto it. This allows me to just set up things quickly. This allows me to just set up things more quickly over on... This allows me to... Okay, this allows me... I still can't get it, dude. This allows me to boot up the system and set up everything a lot faster. Obviously, I'm still gonna have to do BIOS updates and driver updates for the motherboard and chipset updates and Windows updates, and it's gonna be a long night. Now, this is the SSD which my stuff runs off of. Completely ignore the fact that that was not installed properly whatsoever. Don't worry, that's not the only one. Literally. Completely ignore that fact. I don't really know how to install those, considering I have another 2 hard drives, big hard drives installed as well. There's not that much space down here. So I kind of just, like everything else when it comes to PC building, I just wing it, dude. Honestly, I just wing it. Now these are 2 really old SATA cables. I've got 2 new ones with the motherboard, and I have 2 new ones as well on this motherboard. So I'm going to completely chuck those, and then I'm going to install the hard drives again, but with the newer SATA cables. Alright, as I mentioned, these are the 2 newer ones, and then I've got 2 more. As I mentioned, I don't have a cameraman, so I'm kind of just angling this in such a way that you guys can obviously see what I'm doing. This is pretty much just the boring part of things. I'll get into better detail as we go along. Oh, my word, please don't break. Of course, you have to have your trusty toolkit. It's always good to keep spares of screws and a little toolkit of everything that you pretty much would ever need when it comes to building a computer, because if you're missing something, it can be really hard to find. It's more convenient because you never know when you might strip a screw or something like that. So not as in pole dancing strip, literally strip the screw. Okay, please do not get me wrong. That is also probably the worst joke that I will ever make on my channel. No, I've done worse. I've still done worse. Obviously, I want to keep track of all of the screws and everything that I take out as well. Speaking of, whilst I'm busy with this, I should probably look for the one screw of the back fan that kind of just fell in, and I honestly have no idea where it is at this point. I just hear it fumbling around every time I pick up my computer. So this is my Gigabyte Radeon RX 580X 8GB. I'm not exactly sure of the exact specs of it. I'll make sure to leave a link to all of their proper sites and everything so you guys can check out the parts that I'm busy working with. I'm currently rocking 2 sticks of Corsair Vengance 3200 MHz 16GB RAM sticks. These are really good for gaming performance. They're not LED because I'm not paying the extra $200 for that. By $200 I mean rand. I'm pretty sure that's like $20, maybe, probably no, that's probably like 15. I'm South African, by the way, so if you guys are new to this channel and you're busy watching this for the fun, well, yeah. So I'm currently busy removing the old motherboard, and I'm pretty sure I lost another screw. Make that 2 more screws. This should just, there we go. Just like that. The motherboard right here is a Micro ATX MSI B360M, that's one hell of a word, bazooka motherboard, really crappy, cheap, entry level. On this setup, which I've been running for roughly 2.5–3 years now, I've been rocking the 9th gen Intel i5 9400F Coffee Lake, which is an absolute piece of garbage, and the entire reason why I'm getting these upgrades, by the way. And obviously I'm rocking the basic Intel cooler that came with this. I won't be chucking this actually, because at a later stage I have plans to make a streaming PC out of the spare components once I have enough components to obviously replace all of these, which basically just consists of a new case, a new graphics card, and a new GPU. But of all the scalping fuckers out there right now, I don't know. You lay that, I found 2 of the screws. Alright, so this is the Evetech Aries case. I'm an Aries, so I just thought it would be cool. And besides, I kind of really like the Spartan helmet design in the front. I thought that was really cool and it's fit, even though nobody even sees it because it's facing towards the wall in my videos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pull out the new things. I've actually, in order to save some time, pre-installed some of the components. By that I pretty much mean I've installed the CPU, I've adjusted the liquid cooler a little bit so it's easy adjustment. I've removed some of the components from the motherboard itself just so that it's easier installation. And yeah, the rest is still going to take a really long time. Now right here, ladies and gentlemen, also a micro ATX, but a lot thicker. This is a thick board. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the MSI B550M Mortar AMD chipset, and of course right there, as displayed in a little clip that I've added. I hope I added it. Can you please remember to add that? I obviously have the Ryzen 7 5800X already installed. Now, I'm no professional builder, but I believe this is how you do it. Looking at it like this, man, I'm getting excited, bro. I want to use this new CPU really badly. The liquid cooler has some really nice LEDs which will light up my system a bit more on the inside. It lights up more around the outside and along the edges, but right in the smack bang in the middle is going to be that new beautiful liquid cooler with its own set of LEDs. As mentioned before, two brand new socket cables which I'll be using on my SSD and my mini hard drive. Obviously the backplate needs to come on for the placement of the liquid cooler, and MSI was generous enough with most computer products over like $5 to add a little bit of a sticker, so I can add it to the front there alongside the Razer and Redragon stickers I already have placed. Now, if I have any knowledge of RAM placements whatsoever, I believe that MSI has the furthest away from the chipset itself is one of the boosted RAM sticks, which I'm going to put in nicely right there. And one space onwards should be another boosted RAM drive. From what I can see, this motherboard is actually a really tight squeeze, as in it needs to be pressed quite heavily up against the backplate in order for it to actually fit properly. Well, that seems to be it. Alright, well, the motherboard is officially in. I've just got to put in the graphics card and then the liquid cooler, and we are set and good for the run-ins, man. Now, I'm kind of winging it with this GPU placement because I'm not sure whether this is a graphics card port or not, and I'm also not sure whether the GPU has more than one graphic card slot on it. But if it does, then it doesn't really make a difference to me. I don't have more than one GPU. Well, the GPU is now fastened properly in there. I've just got to put in a couple of cables and then the liquid cooler, and we are good to go. Is it getting hot in here or is it just me? Now I believe I have pretty much everything plugged in besides the little power switch keys and everything such as that down below. And my word, does this look way better than my previous motherboard. It's darker, it's bigger, as I said, it's a thick boy.
I'm busy editing this and that sounds way worse in my mind right now than what it was when I was recording this, so...
Obviously I could have gone with a full motherboard style, but micro ATX is pretty cool and simple, and I mean, it's a micro with 2 GPU slots, I think. So, screw it, dude. The liquid cooler is going to be a pain in the ass. I also have an extra fan thanks to this, so I'm going to be placing this fan, which came with the Evetech case itself, rather in the front. Here comes a little bit of a tricky part. Unlike the Intel backplate over here, this doesn't fasten itself to the back of the board or the case. The liquid cooler itself, when installed, holds not only the backplate in place, but itself in place. It's confusing. This is the one time I really wish I had a pair of pliers or something. Seems like even if it's going to be difficult, I'm going to have to do this whilst the computer is standing up. And I mean, my word, MSI, everything was so simple and quick and easy. until you had to go and do this to me. I am a moron for doing it this way, but you know what? I do not care. I do not care. Please tell me I brought some toilet paper or something. Damn it, Keenan.
2 hours later.
Alright, to be completely honest with you guys, I was going to title this video New Upgrades or something along those lines generally. But at this point in time, considering how long it took me off camera to install this radiator and its fan, I might just title this Complete PC Noob Tries to Install His First Ever Liquid Cooler, because the title will match perfectly. With all that set aside, however, I do believe I have it in properly and in the correct fashion, way, I don't know. I believe I'm actually getting really close to the end of this PC build and I cannot be any happier because this was hell. I didn't cry at this point, dude. This was supposed to be an hour-long recording session. I think I'm about 2.5 hours in. Also, there's thermal paste nowhere near where I put thermal paste. How did it get on top of the computer? Currently just plugging in all of the correct power cables for the liquid cooler itself, including obviously the LED ones. How is there more? Dude, what the fuck? Oh my word, that is a hard place to put it. Yes, I literally just said that is a hard place to put it in. That's what he said, man. The entire video is a sexual reference, I swear. Holy crap. Holy crap. I believe the only thing from this point onwards is for me to install the last front fan and figure out exactly where the LED and power switch things go in. Besides the terrible cable management, we have ourselves a computer, ladies and gentlemen. All I have to do is for this right here is simply pop that out. Do not pull it though, because there are actually cables connected to the front. And then all I have to do from that point onwards is install this fan right here.
2 very boring minutes later.
And just like that, I believe we have an extra intake fan in the front. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long and gruesome 2.5 hours of me trying to build a computer as a moron. But I think I'm finally done and ready to go to bed. Now, as I mentioned before, with great power comes great responsibility. As in, I'm either about to power on a beautiful, beautiful beast, or I'm about to blow myself and this house up. Oh my soul. By the way, Studio Vibes, as I mentioned, go follow my neighbor Frank, alright, on IG. He's an amazing, amazing artist. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, it's been a gruesome 2.5 hours. I still have to clean up here, I still have to do BIOS updates, cable management, plugging in hard drives, yada yada yada. I'm fucking happy, dude. I saved up for that shit. I built that shit, okay? How it might have been, it scarred me already at this point. Thermal paste is still fucking everywhere. Dude. Also, sound test. Oh yeah, that is quiet, dude. And I'll be seeing you guys back on my setup in literally a few moments, thanks to the power of editing, even though it's gonna take me an hour.
So that was definitely not instant. It's about 5 days later. I've been through hell and this video definitely didn't just take an hour to edit. It's currently Saturday afternoon. It's about 40 degrees Celsius. Matter of fact, I believe that certain parts of Cape Town is some of the hottest parts in the world right now. So I'm completely dying of heat. Holy crap, dude. I really need a haircut. fuck? Let me just run it through you real quick. There was an issue where the GPU did not want to boot up whatsoever. I recorded this PC build roughly on Monday. After hours of struggling that evening afterwards, I took it the next day to a technician who basically took out the CPU and mentioned that a couple of the pins had bent and he couldn't really fix it. So that afternoon, I manually and very nervously managed to fix the pins that were bent on the CPU and put it back in. However, the GPU still did not want to start up after that. A couple of technical things, and a few hours later I managed to update the BIOS on the motherboard manually without seeing anything. Thank goodness for flash USBs, it's a blessing. And then the GPU finally managed to start up. But besides that and any other chaos that happened this week, my LEDs also completely broke. I manually had to solder, or whatever the fuck you call it, the cables back because apparently some of them fried. And I managed to do that, except now the blue LEDs, which I usually use, do not work whatsoever. I've got the red ones and I've got the green ones like I'm displaying now, but I cannot use the blue ones whatsoever anymore. I'll most likely get the LEDs replaced later this month, so all is good. So basically in the space of less than a week, I've gone from an absolute noob to a full-on PC builder slash technician slash I fix your CPUs. And oh my word, this week has been hell, man. But ladies and gentlemen, it is done. Everything is done. This is the setup right now. Okay, PC's working amazing, by the way. Let me just put that out. Amazing. I've had absolutely no lag. Matter of fact, I've got a reverse bottleneck now and my GPU can't really take the things that my CPU can. Things such as Warzone that used to take up 100% CPU capacity outside of actually recording stuff is now only taking up 40% on base speed. This CPU just does not give a fuck about anything that's running on my computer because it doesn't struggle whatsoever. My graphics card, however, is dying, but I don't generally care because I play on lower quality anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, it's finally done. Everything is done, everything's set up. I'm gonna be streaming later tonight after we are most likely finishing up this video or whatever. I've got a couple things left to edit, and then yeah, there we are, finally done. Another thing I'd like to mention is on one of my older PC build videos, I mentioned that I had a complete redo of the computer that cost about $2,000, and a lot of the comments in there, you know, that doesn't really cost $2,000. Yes, it fucking does. Besides this whole chip shortage, matter of fact, I think that piece build video came out before this whole thing hit us. I live in South Africa, as I mentioned, and a lot of the components due to shipping and due to retailing, it's a lot more expensive in my country. And if I had to put an estimate on this computer, it would probably be around about 30,000 Rand at this point. Maybe 35, including all of the peripherals, monitors, blah blah blah. If I had to calculate that real quick, 35,000 Rand is equivalent to about $2,300, $2,400. So I'm not wrong. Get fucking powered, dude. Anyways, yo, thank you guys for coming out and watching. Really do appreciate it. This is probably the longest video I've ever posted on this channel, but everything's running. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far into the video, you guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. Of course, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to smash the like button, and if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe. It's hard as hell. I'm dying. I've still got some work to do. Much love. I'll see you on stream tonight or in another video on Monday. All right, peace.